In today's video, we're going to break down what makes a good customer experience professional and what makes an inexperienced customer experience professional. My name is Dominic. I'm a customer experience expert. I've been in the field. This is my 16th year. I've been a Zendesk consultant for the past decade, and I'm on a never-ending quest to learn new things. And when I do, I come here and I make a video and share it with you. Today's video inspiration comes from Laura Ragsdale, and she made a great post which caught my attention, and I'm so grateful for LinkedIn that brings these posts to my attention. And yeah, that's a great algorithm right there. Laura, I hope this is fine with you. Onwards with the video. What makes a good customer experience professional? Now, before we continue, please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'd be really grateful, and it would really help me to bring this to more people. Thank you so much. First thing an experienced and well-intended customer experience professional does right is they deprioritize programs that are not working, and they double down on what is scalable and what works, which is common sense 101 if you ask me. This is great practice. Another thing that they do is they partner with the CTO and AI experts, as well as other internal or external, this is my view, partners and peers that are helpful in understanding the buying experience. This to create an AI roadmap that is scalable. Another thing that a CX expert does right is they have confidence in the reporting and the systems that they have set up. They are paranoid about unlocking new revenue streams with the technology that they built and with the analytics that they look out for. They have jobs to keep, that is. They care more about the customer effort score, about the NPS, and about the customer satisfaction, rather than caring for average handling time, first contact resolution, and average wait time. They have one centralized system for managing omni-channel customer interactions. So you know how I talk a lot about Zendesk on my channel and in these videos? Well, that's an omni-channel solution that is robust, and most of the big players that are doing a good job are using. I'm not saying this is the only one, but this is an example of one that is kicking ass. Another thing they do right is they host required training on a consistent basis. This is a place where agents are able to role play different situations. So, you know about practice makes perfect. If you're up against a situation and you go through the steps, even if it is just a simulation, it gets stuck in your head. Much like somebody getting a license to fly a plane, they first do a lot of simulations of how real life situations will unfold. It's exactly the same situation in here. Another thing CX professionals do right is they equip agents with a platform that has different systems connected together, so that the agent has a lot of visibility on who the customer is. It gives a 360 on who that person is. You see the purchase history, you see their interaction history, product recommendation, you see them all in one place. And this is not just a time saver, but it's also a means to offer context so people can make the right decision. You empower people to make the right decisions, and they can do that much easier. They empower agents to close business in the stream of conversation. Now, what does this mean? This means that now that the agent has context and they know the past interactions of the customer, they know the purchase history, they know what other products have been recommended to this customer, they can very easily make a suggestion for an upsell. They have background of what was discussed, they understand better the needs, so they can make the right recommendation. Like, hey, do you want this in red? Because I see you've been asking about red. Yes, I would. Thank you so much. You read my mind. Well, no, actually, I read your interaction history. So yeah, you mentioned it, but all good. Thanks so much. They brag about their team's accomplishments, and they compliment them via Slack, via email, or in a public place like social media. And they're grateful for good collaborations that take the company further and take the collaboration and the team pro-efficiency further. And that's great customer experience, both for the employees. We must not forget how important employees are to a business. Without them, there is no business. Okay, now let's move on to the next one, which is the inexperienced, like the X. Don't do that. I mean, if you're inexperienced, you're bound to make these mistakes, but it's good because you can watch this video, or you can read tons of material, and you can get inspired of what not to do, or rather avoid doing these things. So buckle up, here we go. They try to do more than before, even when resources have been cut. Don't do that. That leads to overexhaustion and a burnt and being burnt out, and you don't want that because then you'll become even worse at doing your job. They pretend to have a generative AI system in place when all they have is a chatbot. They believe that they're strategic and that their teams and as well as their jobs are safe, even though they don't know what CX investments really do to a business, either impact it positively or negatively. This one I wouldn't feel too bad about because, technology evolves so fast that you can't really know everything. So keeping an open mind, I guess, is the way to go here. They obsess over some outdated metrics like average wait time, average handling time, and that's not the problem because these are also important, but these are not the only ones to keep in mind. It might be that your business is particular and you have to pay attention to different metrics. One of our clients made a funny remark and they said they are in charge of lead to cash, as in somebody is a lead and then they become cash. So I know it's a very reductive way of seeing it, but in these steps, depending on your business, you have some different metrics that only apply to you. So rather, don't rely on what somebody else tells you. Rather, just get involved, use your own imagination, and create your own blueprint. Another thing they do wrong is they empower agents with half-built systems that don't really communicate with each other, and what's worse, they expect results. So having a disorganized system, inefficient, that doesn't communicate well, it's stitched up together with different connecting tools, not showing complete data, is a recipe for disaster. They hand scripts for handling emails, chats, and phone calls to their support agents, and then they just walk away as if that's the Bible and you best just follow that. Whereas, in my view, it's a little bit more. It should be about iteration and about making it personal, because not every situation applies. Especially now with the emergence of AI, repetitive tasks are really going to be handled 100% by the technology, by AI. So what you're left with are particular cases where it's not following a blueprint. Yes, you have to solve the same kind of request, but people are people and they reach a certain level in requiring assistance for the same request in a much different way that you've never thought about. So a script doesn't really apply step by step. However, empowering people with the right tools so they can make the right decisions and with the right incentives, probably a better approach. They give trainings that are full of platitudes about customer satisfaction and customer happiness, and don't repeat this information. So there's no practice, there's no practical appliance of this, so agents can have this information stick to their procedure and how they do things. They don't have case studies, they don't have examples, they don't have role play. So that's just so that's just not really how people learn. They expect agents to memorize the FAQs and the articles in the knowledge base as if it's the 10 commandments. Don't expect people to do that. Might be useful to use technology, to use AI to help agents in order to solve requests. And also remembering something, if you're not an engineer, it's not the best, especially if you don't do role play. Not really fun, and people are not really happy to do it. Okay, so this has been the update together with some of my thoughts. What I liked the most, or actually what incited me the most, or actually got me worried the most, was the third one, which is believing you're strategic and your job is safe without actually knowing what the technology will impact. I can't really predict the future on some of these developments of AI. And nobody really knows. But one thing I do know for sure is that companies want to reduce costs, and they don't really see AI as anything else but a means to reduce costs even more. So I don't know what to do with that information. I hope you found this useful. I enjoyed making it, and I'll see you in the next video. And